Good evening, friends. Thank you a lot for the positive feedback that my book has received. For those who haven't, don't forget to check out my latest book, The Tussle, and also have a look at my other books. I have provided the links in the description. Also, check out my FB and Instagram page, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share the videos. I got two new opportunities to be of help for my friends yesterday. Thank you for allowing me to help you. I'm happy that the results so far has been positive. Today is the death anniversary of my maternal grandmother. She left us for her eternal abode 5 years ago, but her ideas, her love, her pious thoughts continue to inspire and guide us. She was the one who has been instrumental in building our family's connection with the Ramakrishna Vivekananda movement, which has immensely changed our lives for better. As a tribute to her, my talk today will be based on a lecture by Swami Vivekananda at Chicago, with my own inputs and definitely in my language. Today, the world is plagued with problems of degrading morality, decreasing tolerance, and the lack of love and fraternity. Let us study today how the ancient Indian philosophy of the Vedanta can help our civilization in countering these problems that the world faces today. Superficially, it may seem that India is just a land of the conquered, a land of conquered and suffering people, but what they fail to realize is that in the spiritual domain, it is our great nation which has conquered the world. To start with, we must ask ourselves what is the basis which keeps two of the most ancient yet most afflicted and oppressed races of the world, the Hindus and the Jews, to survive when other apparently much more powerful cultures have perished. What force lies behind the binding of the people who never boasted of aggression? The only logical conclusion that can be drawn is this, that it can be nothing other than the spiritual force. The Jews today are much more influential and numerous compared to that in erstwhile Palestine, while the Hindus, though silent on many fronts, have asserted their spiritual influence and heralded the development of the nation as they integrate the material and the spiritual realm of human lives. A huge gift that the ancient Indian philosophy provided us was the concept of the universal soul. The Indian philosophy has, from ancient times, spread throughout the civilized world, modifying and evolving itself as it pervaded through the world. It reached the coasts of Africa even before Europe was known, thereby opening the routes for the rest of the world. These facts also go on to prove that Indian trade has rolled out to places way beyond its frontiers and not confined to the mainland of the subcontinent as was promulgated by some European scholars. While colonization of India has had a definite effect on the culture and civilization of the country, it has also been a turning point in the history of the conqueror as well. The triumphant power received wealth, power, dominion, material resources, as well as spirituality from our country. Basically, the Eastern philosophy measures how little of material possessions a person can get by with, as opposed to the Western scale, which motivates its followers to possess and enjoy as much of material elements as one can. The study of Vedas shows us how the people of this holy land ventured in their search for the one, the source of everything, the God. The theories and practice gradually developed. Our ancestors, beginning with the worship of plants, animals, their forefathers, the forces of nature like Indra, the god of thunder, Varuna, the god of rain, and so on. The evolution of God from multiplicity to monotheism occurred in many religions, but it merely depicted a super powerful entity who ruled over a tribe of gods and was the most powerful and all dominating. The Hindus weren't satisfied with this human like depiction of God. Therefore, they gradually directed their search for the divine from the outer world of senses and matter towards the inner world. And what did they discover? The spirit within, the existence of a whole new world, the Atman. It is a self, the one and only thing that the individual can be sure of, the only thing that was there when nothing else existed, and that which will be there when everything is destroyed, the universal soul. It is the entity from which everything is manifested, and everything will one day merge into its entity. The Vedanta philosophy found the answer to the question that has been asked from the inception of civilization, in one form or the other: who or what existed from the beginning? The Hindus also realized that it is by knowing the self that we can know the universe and not the other way around. The Vedanta philosophy also laid down the basics of ethics. While every religion instructs us on a number of veritable do's and don'ts, none, however, provides us any reason for why one shouldn't indulge in things that are considered immoral. Like, why shouldn't one kill his neighbors or not steal? The Hindus, who couldn't just rest upon the set of dogmas, found a metaphysical explanation to this very important why. The Vedanta says that the Atman is all pervading and absolute and therefore infinite. It is simple mathematics, friends, that there cannot be two infinities, because then one would be limited by the other, which is absurd. Each individual soul is a part of the same infinite. So by injuring your neighbor or harming somebody in any perceivable way, one is actually harming himself or herself. Also, in today's world, the concept of tolerance has been one of the most vocally fought concepts. The Vedantic philosophy provides us with a solution here as well. The Vedanta enlightens on a very important aspect of spiritual evolution, that the soul does not pass from illusion to truth, it passes from truth to truth, from lower to higher truth. Each stage of its evolution is true. It is like a journey towards the sun from the earth. At each stage, if one takes a snap of the celestial body, it would appear different, but the change is not in the object, but in the perception of the observer. Each of the images are equally true. Only the changing conditions of time and space changes the perception. The journey of the human being towards perfection is very similar to this. The realization among the Hindus is one reason why the Hindus were able to perceive the universal truth of all religion, the only people who have never had religious persecutions. The Hindus are known to worship the shrine of a Mohammedan saint whom even the Muslims have forgotten. The Hindus work towards tolerance and beyond tolerance. They believe every religion to be equal in true sense of the term, and many instances of the same can be quoted, and all of this is rooted in these universal spiritual principles of the ancient knowledge base that forms the very foundation of the religion. Unity, the goal that the entire humanity seeks, be it science or religion. While the material scientists seek unity in subatomic particles and wave particle duality, the yogis on the spiritual truth or the spiritual truth seekers in India have sought unity through Atman. Today, it has been well proven that everything that we perceive is a manifestation of the one source that is not perceivable by our senses or any instrument that our senses are able to perceive. That one substance which the Hindu calls the Atman. At some point, the material sciences need to acknowledge the existence of an unknown that goes beyond the dimension, magnitude, and perception. In order to prove the hypothesis and explain the observable universe, quantum physics have conclusively proven that the mind and our observation is the only reason for the existence of the world as we perceive it, thereby pushing us into the metaphysical realm. The union of science and religion has been conclusively visualized in the ancient Vedanta philosophy and unifies the entire world and all the philosophies of the civilized way. So, my friends, the amalgamation of the Western materialistic activities and the Eastern spiritual introspection is not only capable of taking the human civilization to its utmost heights, but also solve the problems related to tolerance and persecutions that have ailed our beloved country and Mother Earth at large. So that will be all for now. I'll seek your leave. Do check my channel, my YouTube channel, check the other live videos, check my books, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and allow me to help you with anything that is troubling you or not allowing you to reach your full potential. So take care, friends. Check the description box for the links. I'll take your leave now. Bye bye.